The 14th Amendment demonstrates what it is to be an American because it helps ensure equality for all, no matter their race or gender, and because it protects individual parts of the LGBT community from harassment. Although some Americans may think that the 14th Amendment should follow the anti-LGBT individuals and rules of the past, such as abandoning pro-gay rights and beliefs.
We can't be too congratulatory with ourselves when we're talking about marriage equality. Legally, we have it. Socially, we still don't have marriage equality, because when people talk about marriage equality, they talk about gender. And when people talk about gender, they still try to think of gender in this very narrow, male and female, male, female, female. And they prove how little we actually understand about humanity and about gender and about sexuality.
That kids like Stella exist today demonstrates how far we've come, and that is politics, it is advocacy at its best. It's not the art of the possible, it is the art of turning impossibility into possibility into reality. And that transformational change has happened because of advocates throughout the last several decades fighting, because of people living their truth right now, because of folks in government like yourself under the Obama administration who helped bend the arc of the moral universe just a little bit more towards justice. And for me, knowing that those young people exist today, it gives me hope that we can continue to make change.
Listening to both Candace and Sarah shows that there is still inequality, but that we're progressing forward.
Being the sponsor of Sage, what does the LGBT community mean to you? Do you have any personal friends or family that are part of it?
Yeah, a lot of personal friends and family, which is part of why I wanted to be the sponsor, but also I just like to help advocate for people whose voices might not be heard within like the mainstream population. And so part of it is also just working with students who might feel silenced or might have dealt with bullying or harassment or depression or anxiety, either at home or at school. And so part of it is also just helping those voices emerge.
Despite the overwhelming positivity received from some people, and despite all of the anti-discrimination laws and likely, statistics has proven that there are still some issues when it comes to harassment of LGBT youth.
Do you have any stories about students being mistreated?
No, not mistreated, but I think most of the stories that I would have, stem from the idea of like they didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? And so, when I would have a conversation with them, I'm like, okay, so so I really give them a variety of names. I would go walk with them and kind of show them the faces.
Additionally to that, there's a lot of issues figuring out where the specific lines are, what counts as freedom of speech, and what counts as discrimination.
This involves a lot of key issues that get a lot of people activated, whether it is religious freedom or the freedom to not be discriminated against. I want you to take a listen to the baker who said that his cakes are technically art, therefore it's protected as freedom of speech. He can't be forced to make a creation that expresses a message he opposes. Here's how he described his argument in an interview with CNN.
I feel that I'm being compelled to create artwork for an event, an inherently religious event that goes against my faith. And I'm being compelled to do so under threat of penalty of jail time and fines.
David?
Hey, look, I think Chris is right. It's obviously, and Justice Kennedy has us, right? We're right at the fulcrum of where lots of people, that's why it's at the Supreme Court. It's very tough. Nobody wants to jam a different view down somebody's strongly religious, a religious belief. Nobody wants to force them to do something they don't want to do. At the same time, we have to respect the rights of all Americans, and so it's really difficult.
So what are one of the issues currently? A main argument could be the trans military ban, which goes directly against the equality necessary.
To every single transgender man and woman in our military, in our shores, and well beyond, please know that we will never take your service, your courage, your patriotism for granted. You deserve better from your president, from your country, from your government than what you have seen today.
In closing words, there's still a lot of discrimination happening despite the establishment of the 14th Amendment, although we're continuously progressing our way through to a more accepting society.